Vegas sign.
Huh?
That's the Vegas sign.
Yeah? How'd the pictures come out?
At the 10 o'clock position is the Imperial Valley of California, where Indio and Palm Springs is located. In that area, you might have seen or heard of a place known as the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea is a leftover of one of the last floods from 1902. It is still there today. That's why the Hoover Dam was built. We call it the mother of all dams. It is one of the largest, one of the first ones built. Every dam built after 1931 around the world is a direct copy of the Hoover Dam, standing 726.4 feet high, 660 feet thick at the base, and about 1,000 feet wide. Some of the other dams in this area. 400 miles upriver is Page, Arizona, home to the Glen Canyon Dam with Lake Powell behind it. Loosely translated, that's what Colorado means, the color red. And we get up here, and now we have a quick word from our sponsor. Real quickly, 10 o'clock position is what we call Sunrise Mountain. Directly in front of us are the Black Mountains with Black Canyon, home to the Hoover Dam. To our left, over there is the Sheep and Frenchman's Mountain and Spring Mountains. The Spring Mountain Range is actually the end of the Sierra Nevada mountains that start in California. They actually begin by Yosemite and Sacramento and stretch all the way down here. These are the mountains that make up our valley. So we're going to enter the interstate up here in a few moments, and we'll make our way out towards Boulder City and the Hoover Dam. We'll let the machine take over. Number two is the power that's generated up here. Over 50% goes to the Los Angeles metropolitan area by way of Southern California Edison. Boulder City sees 1%, still pays 1946 prices as part of the contract, and the rest goes into Arizona.
Hazards. A riverboat called the Explorer battled currents, sandbars, shallows, and rock snags from Yuma, Arizona to just about where the dam is today, only to be badly damaged and have to return to Yuma. The river was wild and unpredictable.
Stop. There's not as many mountains over here.
Oh, there's plenty of mountains.
Where'd they go? Oh, they're there. Look at how pretty. Look at the mountains, how pretty they are. Oh, you look so enthralled.
Let's move forward about 50 years. It was around 1900 when extensive topographical mapping was done in the Southwest. It was during this period it was conceptualized. The churning Colorado River was not going to be easily changed, and the trench could not control the force of the river, which broke through the newly created banks. The CDC lost the confidence and the will to keep following the irrigation trench solution and ended up transferring most of its stock to the Southern Pacific Railroad, which was earning huge profits from increasing traffic in the Imperial Valley. Now, Brent trying to steal their water, and a senator from Utah was upset because he said creating electrical power from the dam put the government in direct competition with private industry. Despite the objectors, just a few months before the stock market crash of 1929 and the beginning of the Great Depression, President Herbert Hoover gave the green light to spending $165 million to build the Boulder Dam and the All-American Canal. Over to the left side of the bus, you'll see the tall sign and the buildings of the Fiesta Henderson Casino. The casino is quite a bit away from the Strip, so their target market isn't so much the visitors to Las Vegas, though they'll gladly accept everyone. But this is an example of what's known as a locals casino. Locals casinos like this one form something like a ring around Las Vegas, and they're more specifically geared towards attracting the local population to spend their entertainment and gambling dollars with them. It's common for locals to want to avoid the crowds of the Strip, and most locals know the odds are stacked a little more in favor of the house and the mega resort properties. What's different about locals casinos? Well, the slots certainly are a little looser on payouts, and you'll see more video poker machines on the floor since video poker, if played perfectly, is almost a 100% payback. I did say almost. You'll see popular slot machines like Wheel of Fortune, but locals are less likely to come back if their budget is used up in 10 to 20 minutes. Locals casinos also have great value loyalty programs, and the buffets are extremely cheap. $9.99 for a full dinner buffet is pretty common. If you come for dinner, then they figure you'll likely play the slots and table games during your day or night out, too. Dams built in the United States before, but nothing of this magnitude. Any company wanting to bid on this project was welcome to, provided it could put up a $2 million bid bond. In addition, if the company was awarded the job, they had to be capable to post a $5 million performance bond. There were construction deadlines that had to be met, and penalties would be paid for any delays. The contractor had to supply all tools, vehicles, everything that was needed, plus get the job done within 7 years. The mammoth size of this project left the government with only 3 bidders that could meet the requirements. The successful bidding company was a newly formed operation. It was, however, a smart business. Knowing the enormity of the project, 6 different companies, each with their own specialty, knowledge, and skills, pulled together to create a new company specific for the dam project. They called the company, wait for it, 6 companies. They were Morrison Knudsen, Utah Construction, Pacific Bridge, Bechtel, McDonald & Kahn, and J.F. Shea. Their winning bid was $48,890,955, which was a mere $24,000 more than the Bureau of Reclamation Engineers estimated. And the winning bid was a touch under $5 million less than the nearest competitor. On March 4th, 1931, the dam deal was sealed. I had to say it.
All right, I'm back. We're getting ready to go through what's known as Railroad Pass. So named because this is the way the railroad used to pass on the way from downtown to downtown out to the construction site of the Hoover Dam. Now we're going to see a lot of construction today, part of what's going to be Interstate 11. With the widening and deepening of the Panama Canal, making it easier for the container and cargo ships to get to North America, they're connecting and upgrading all the small highways and converting it in Nevada, home to the Tachatacup gold mine. an actual gold mining town from 1857 that they've kept alive for tourism. On the left is the Railroad Pass Hotel Casino, which actually started as a whistle stop, if you will, a mail stop along the railroad. This is where the workers would pick up their paychecks. Then they would have to go into Las Vegas to cash those checks and spend their money. And someone got the bright idea, let's open up a casino here. We can cash those checks and get some of that money back. Railroad Pass Casino has a distinction of having the oldest active gaming license in the state of Nevada. Their gaming license is numbered at 4. 1, 2, and 3 are gone. Those were downtown. But this is the oldest. So right hand side down there, El Dorado Canyon, this little area here is a gypsum mining operation. 81 miles at the 3 o'clock position out there is the Goldfield mine, which is still the 9th largest active gold producing mine in the world. And that brings us to the entrance of Boulder City, the town the Hoover Dam built. 1931, the Great Depression was going on. Most of your factory jobs around the country were only paying up to about 60 cents an hour. While here, the jobs were starting at 75 cents up to $2 an hour, depending on what your job was. So these guys would leave their families and homes coming out here for the work. The Hoover Dam officially went online in 1936, and then the guys started going back home. You're welcome. The first thing you're going to notice is the beautification project. With the more traffic coming up here, with the bypass bridge open, they've made it look pretty. With the palm trees being the addition that they didn't used to have. Now the palm trees are not native to this area. They are actually imported from California and Florida for the amazingly low price of $100 to $200 per foot, depending on how they're groomed. Oh yeah. And we're going to start seeing statues depicting life taken from actual photographs during the time period. We're going to see all kinds of stuff once we get through this intersection. Like I said, everybody turns left. Actually started as a joke, as a rumor. One of the workers put a pair of worker boots upside down in the wet cement.
I read about that.
And the next shift they came on, said, hey, where's Joe? So that's how that rumor got started. There's one person buried at the construction site. When the project started, there was a puppy living out here, a black Labrador Retriever. Kind of got the nickname of Blackie. In the summertime, when the temperatures reach 125 degrees out here, Blackie would lay under a truck in the shade. And unfortunately, one day that truck backed up. That night they buried Blackie at the construction site, which you can see before you go down the escalators for the interior tour. You'll look to your left and you'll see a piece of raised cement, a wall with let's see, not this intersection, but the next one. On the left-hand side, we're going to see the original homes of Boulder City. On the right-hand side, we're going to see the original barracks that housed the single workers. These are now studio apartments. So the next intersection, guys, is where Boulder City began. Again, left-hand side, original homes sold for $1. Right-hand side, original barracks. Then we got the water and power building on the left-hand side, still in use today. And when we get through this next intersection, that is the original town. It is actually historical Boulder City. These buildings are on the register of historical buildings. They cannot be moved. They will stay here until they crumble. All they can do is upgrade the plumbing, the wiring, and put a new coat of paint. The hardware store, diner, and coffee shop have been here since about 1937. This is historical Boulder City. We're going to make our way to the edge of town. I'm going to turn towards the left. You're coming with me. Left-hand side, we're going to start to see some of the supervisors' homes. But what I really want to show you is going to be on the right. You're going to see a large metal structure, a turbine that sits inside of a generating unit at the Hoover Dam. There are 17 generating units, which you will see on the interior tour. The water is drawn through the intake towers. The water spins this turbine, and that's what generates the power. Now, this one is in a with more modern and durable materials. Here we are at the edge of town. Just that big. Left-hand side, supervisors' homes. Right-hand side, an original turbine. And then get ready for our first view today of Lake Mead, named after Dr. Elwood Mead, who was the superintendent, director of the Bureau of Reclamation during the construction project. And wait till you see this view. That's another reason why I like to come up here. This view is awesome. I went the wrong way. All right, there it is, guys.
Wow.
Well, you don't get this view from down there on the highway. Look at that. Where we're supposed to be. Don't tell nobody. Inside here, real quickly, a nice collection of all the plants of the Colorado Plateau where we are. You're going to see the creosote bush, which is the lighter green bushes. Different types of cactus, beryl, teddy bear, cholla, ocotillo, or prickly pear. The yucca plant looks like a top of a pineapple. And the lava rock from Black Canyon. Right here. Nice collection. Now we'll make our way down to the highway, making a right-hand turn. In front of us, you're going to see a large flat-top mountain coming into view, where the Mormons tried to establish a colony up on top, thinking that they would be protected from the occasional Indian raids. But it became a nightmare to bring the supplies and material up to the people, so they abandoned it, went into Las Vegas. Fortification Hill now stands guard over the Hoover Dam and Lake Mead, with 43 layers, indicate 43 volcanic eruptions. The last recorded volcanic activity was about 1,800 years ago, while the last recorded earthquake seismic activity about 20 seconds ago. We have the 4th largest earthquake fault in North America runs. The Hoover Dam officially online 1936. Since that time, we have had over 45,000 earthquakes in this area. Wow. You combine the lava rock and Black Canyon, able to hold the weight of the Hoover Dam with Lake Mead behind it. You combine that with the constant release of pressure, are some of the reasons why this area was chosen as the site for the Hoover Dam. If you saw that movie, San Andreas, remember the opening had that huge earthquake that was up here? Did anybody see the movie? Nobody. Alright. Well, you just, I'm going to tell you the joke anyway. They already fixed it. Hollywood magic. But no, there's a 97% chance that we will not have an earthquake of that magnitude out here. Alright, there it is, Lake Mead. As we get a little bit closer, you'll notice a large white ring around the lake, which we call the high water mark from 1983. the highest level the lake has ever attained. With the water bleaching out the calcium deposits, we're now left with a very vivid reminder of how high the water once was. Lake Mead, made up of several basins. See Saddlehorn Mountain coming into view. Out of the side, you'll see a large metal structure, which is one of 3 intakes for all the water of Las Vegas. A lot of outdoor activities out here as well. Again, I'll remind, no gambling in Boulder City, no gambling in the recreation area, but as soon as you get to the boundary, bada bing, that's the Hoover Dam Lodge, the first casino as you come in from Arizona. If you were to hike 2 miles to your right is Gold Strike Canyon, and there are natural mineral springs and spas tucked in behind these hills. We're going to see where the Boulder City Bypass Road is going to come out up here. Now, when we arrive at the parking garage, just stay seated for a moment. I'm going to get your tickets, then we'll turn you guys loose. Please do the interior tour first. The security reminds you, no food or drinks. You can take a bottle of large bags. Like I said, I didn't see any. I was not really concerned about that one. Again, no pocket knives, scissors, nail files. Leave that stuff on your seat. It'll be here when you guys come back. Make our way through Black Canyon. Remember, this road that we're on right now was built in 1932. That crosses the top of the Hoover Dam, the main highway connecting King, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. They shut it down on just on the other side of the Hoover Dam, so you can still drive across the top of the Hoover Dam, but you'll have to make a U-turn and come back.
But it can take a little bit of time if the crowds are busy today. After passing through the ticket windows, you'll be led into a theater where you'll watch a video presentation about the construction of the dam. After the video is complete, a guide will take us to the elevators and then tour us through the exit to a rooftop point where we'll have excellent views to both the dam and to the bridge. Keep an eye on the time, and if we complete the dam tour in good time, then feel free to walk onto back to the bus at the correct time. Our driver will let us know when. Also, thousands of tourists each day trying to get a look at and photos of the dam. After the tragic events of September 11th, 2001 occurred, new security measures were introduced to inspect every vehicle that crossed the dam. As you can imagine, this caused even more delays and frustration for truckers, commuters, and visitors. So after being in the plan for a long time, the bridge project was given the go-ahead and the bypass was created, allowing non-sightseeing traffic to avoid the dam completely. The bridge project is almost concrete arch spans the 1,900-foot gap across the canyon, and it sits on the Colorado River. You might find yourself saying, wow.
Wow. Or damn.
Real quickly on the right-hand side, that older paved road. That's the road that goes down to the construction site. In the video you're going to see, you're going to see a truck with 100 guys hanging off the side going down a dirt road. That's the dirt road that they were on. So now let's get ready for our security checkpoint. Again, this is where I'm going to need your help. Please start opening up all the overhead luggage racks. Like I says, please remain seated. No one's allowed off the coach. No one's allowed in the restroom. Well, once as we approach the Hoover Dam.
Traffic to simply skip driving the dam. It used to be common that by this point in the road we'd be sitting in a queue and crawling towards the dam. Now you can understand why the bypass bridge was needed. By allowing non-sightseeing traffic to simply skip driving the dam completely, things have sped up significantly for traffic. And it's a better experience for visitors like us since we get to the dam faster. We're about to pass through the inspection point. Please just remain seated as the inspector boards the bus. There's nothing to be concerned about. This process is completed thousands of times every day, and we'll soon be on our way once again.
Inspection point. Bubby's making sure everything is gonna pass muster. Is it good?
It won't stay open.
That's okay.
You have to walk up about 85 steps and then about a quarter of a mile out to get your view of the Hoover Dam. Right now it's 103 degrees outside. All right?
Oh my God.
So yeah, so walking around. Remember, do the interior tour first, then you'll have a chance afterwards for photos and walking around the top of the dam. And in front of us, that's what's diverting the traffic around and away from the Hoover Dam.
Oh yeah.
Around the next corner on the right-hand side, you'll look down into Black Canyon. You'll see the Colorado River. Now, remember, Colorado means the color red. However, with the water coming out of the Hoover Dam super slow, it is. So on the right-hand side is the Colorado as it flows away from the Hoover Dam.
Oh my God.
I heard someone say closer.
Oh my God.
And we come around the corner and we're looking for a green light. Yep, it's green. In the ground here are barricades. Pop up 5 feet high, loaded with explosives. If somebody runs that checkpoint, they are on both sides of the Hoover Dam.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, let's come in here. Now I will pull up again at 4 o'clock for our departure. You'll see the loading area. I'll pull up to whatever spot's open.
Visitor center and pool.
Down this way. Ooh. Oh, our favorite.
Alright guys, we're going to head right down into this room for me. When you guys get into that room down there, go ahead and have a look out the windows, check out the pictures. Basically, don't hang out at the bottom of the stairs. We got a lot of
Don't hang out at the bottom of the stairs. Wow. So stuff happened. What are these diversion tunnels? It's not aliens.
Aliens.
No, it's not. Look, you can walk there, I guess. Smuggle.
She's doing funny things in here.
Is it?
Fingers are popping like crazy.
Mine aren't. I have an alien body.
Aliens.
It smells like history. I love it. You love that?
Wet history.
Wet history. It's on this side. I bet it's more oldness. Let's see. Wow. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
like this one. They're all called diversion tunnels because they're built to divert the river. See, the Colorado River, it ran right through the area where the dam sits today. They needed the right place to build it. So the first phase of construction, in fact, the first 2 years, were drilling and blasting the floor tunnels through the solid rock walls. They then lined them with 3 feet of concrete, leaving us with the 50-foot diameter tunnels we have today. That is that original layer of concrete right above you. Now, once they are completed, they're going to have to force that river into these tunnels, which they do by adding 2 smaller dams at each end of the build site called coffer dams. And this represents the upstream or upper coffer dam right here. This is blocking that river, forcing it up and into the 4 tunnels. Then, of course, it's going to exit here on the other side of the map. This lower coffer dam is keeping it from backfilling into this area between them. They have a lot of work to do in that area first, though, before they can get started. And the biggest thing is digging down to find solid rock. Once that's done, however, they can begin on the next phase of construction. So finally, they deliver the last bucket of that concrete from the 29th of May, 1935. Phase of construction. That's going to be filling this lake. Now, in order to fill that lake, of course, they're going to need to block off these tunnels. They do that by placing bulkhead steel gates at the entrances and also following it up with 400-foot in-length concrete plugs. That seals off the upstream portion. Downstream, well, they're going to take out. All right, we're going to move on now to our inner tunnels. Our inner tunnels are where they place or 9 meters in diameter penstock pipe. That's simply the pipe that you guys may have seen out of that window. This pipe is running right beneath us. And the pipe that you might have felt a little vibrations for what it felt like when you first came into the tunnel. So that pipe can carry up to 96,000 gallons of water per second. It's enough water to fill up an Olympic-sized swimming pool in 7 seconds. And it wasn't even doing that at that point. Or it's a lot.
I want to just wander around in these tunnels.
I know, right?
All right, guys, the elevators come down and have more people.
I'm sure that that story that they told us about, like, the guy being buried with his boots and the dog or whatever, there's no deaths here.
Boots is a joke. There
I
were a
know.
lot of deaths here, but
There were.
Nobody was buried here.
That they know of. Or that they're telling you. I heard somebody burp. Did you hear that? Those good acoustics. Oh. That hurts. See somebody? I have the giggles. Somebody I don't know why I had the giggles. The Hoover Dam makes me giggle, I guess. Makes me giggle. Somebody just let one rip.
You know that.
That wasn't you, it was a burp.
It was me.
It was not you. I saw your mouth. Whew, this is warm. Well.
Just coming in, guys, travel a little further on into the river for me so we can get everybody out of that tunnel behind you.
Yeah, good.
There we go, that looks like the end of the line. So find yourself a spot anywhere along this river house and welcome to the Hoover Dam Power Plant. Now the power plant is located on the downstream side of the dam at the bottom. It's a U-shaped building with a U or a wing of that U on each side of the river, and we're standing on the Nevada side of it. Now this does mean the dam itself, but it is behind this wall to the rear of the building. But focusing on what we can see, looking the opposite direction, you will see 8 generators here in Nevada. We have 9 on the Arizona side, so we have a total of 17 commercial generators here at the dam. And these generators are 70 feet tall, but we're only looking at the top 30 feet of each one of them here. Also on the tops of each generator, you'll see a white light. And if that white light is on, that means it is generating electricity. But right now, I want you guys actually to focus on this first generator. It's called Nevada 1. And look at the white decking that's covering the top of Nevada 1. Follow it right into the center. You should see that steel shaft. It's around 65 feet below the floor where it connects to that turbine. Now that is the same turbine we talked about in the room below, and it's the spinning that is maintaining a speed of the generators that are running of 180 revolutions per minute. And that is what drives the rotor inside of the part we're looking at that generates the electricity. In fact, each generator here is rated at 130 megawatts. If all 17 were running, they can produce over 2,000. That's enough power for simply just over 1 million homes. And we have one more generator here that I didn't talk about. It's actually down here. You'll see that bridge light structure up here and the flag on it. And that's called a PNH bridge.
You're so creepy. What are you doing?
Morning.
You should have done it in the elevator.
Come over here, chair.
One last thing we're going to talk about here in the power plant. This has got more to do with that market.
You just farted in the Hoover Dam.
Because we do have a little bit of that in the power plant.
And I can still smell it. And we're in the Hoover Dam and I can still smell your fart.
All the way over here, just to share.
We're in the Hoover Dam, like how many feet underground I can still smell your fart.
I know.
What does that say about your farts?
Beast. Fucking savage.
Generally related to some kind of American Indian art.
You need to do it in the elevator.
Huh?
Do it in the elevator. Okay.
Here in the power plant. And the larger of the two is to my right. And if we look at the center of that design, you'll see a silhouette of a turbine.
We gotta get back in that elevator soon.
This is cool.
Well, they get 4% of their power from the dam. See, when they were building it, we were talking a little bit about that tunnel. They, Las Vegas was just very few people that lived there. So they didn't really figure that all these people were going to move to the largest desert in America to play a legal game of poker. So they didn't really, when their contracts were written originally, they just didn't allow for that much power to go to Las Vegas. And because the power plant is run by the government, they can't really openly compete because they get outbid by the unfair advantage. Right. So they have to stay within certain contractual agreements whenever they do write contracts. So that's why Las Vegas doesn't do the power plant thing. They said that, yeah, that's the guy.
You need me, I'll be over here away from the edge.
This is where the water is drawn from hundreds of feet below the surface of the lake and spills through the turbines.
Okay.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Here, hold on to me.
No.
The water comes out of the turbines at an
You're
average
okay.
temperature of 53 to 55 degrees.
Okay, okay.
No, Bubby, hold on to me. It's okay.
At the base, you see two long buildings, one on each side of the canyon. These house the 17 generators that create the electrical energy that provides the funding for the facility. This allows Hoover to use of taxpayer dollars. The roofs on both buildings appear to have wires coming out of them. This is called the takeoff structure. From the takeoff structure, the wires carry the electricity up and over the canyon walls at 230,000 volts. The towers that support and direct the wires are leaning into the canyon. These are cantilever towers, designed to ensure that the wires do not touch the walls of the canyon.
You can hold on to me. Bubby.
Canyon wall, and you will see a rectangular concrete building with 6 holes. This is the valve house. There are two, one on each side of the canyon. Each building contains low gates. These gates allow us to run water around the turbines if necessary. Above the valve houses, stretching across the canyon, are 6 3.5-inch diameter cables. If you follow the cables to the right, you will see the lifting mechanism of the crane that is supported by the cables. This is the original crane from the building of the dam. Looking at these canyon walls, one can marvel.
So what do you think of Hoover Dam?
This place probably has the best fallout shelter in the country. So those workers, that's probably why they don't mention it. Because that's their fallout shelter.
Yeah. And that's the exhibit.
Yep.
So.
We should go up one more time.
Yeah, we'll go one more time. I just need to shout at these guys.
Okay.
Hey guys. Dudes. All talking trash.
Alright. Colorado River is both friend and foe, has the power to sustain life and ruin lives, to create opportunity and destroy prosperity. Wow. Yeah. That's a nice story.
From the road to the ramps below. Looking at these canyon walls, one can marvel at the tenacity.
Careful, it's hot. Put your hand on the cement instead.
The fearless men that performed some of the most dangerous undertakings on the Boulder Canyon project. These brave characters, called high scalers, swung from the top of the canyon walls by a single rope on a bosun's chair, drilling. They worked the walls to their solid foundation to prevent the natural rock from falling.
Look, Mom and Dad, we're at the Hoover Dam. There it is. And that is Lake Mead.
It has been said that in the shadow of Hoover Dam, one feels that the future is limitless. You get a spectacular panoramic view of Lake Mead, the dam, the Colorado River, and the bypass bridge. As you look over the railing, you will see the tallest concrete dam in the world.
Bye, Hoover Dam.
Hoover.
Around, well, they said, we're not going to do that. We're going to send someone ahead. So they ended up sending a young Mexican scout named Rafael Rivera ahead of the group. And he was to report back any large canyons or mountains that he came across, so they could tell the group and they could figure out, go over it, under it, around it, whatever they were going to do. He comes over what I showed you earlier we call Sunrise Mountain. He was met by a lush, green, fertile valley, a river running through the middle. There's an artesian well, an artesian spring, the original water source for the area. In fact, it's still there today. We call it the Springs Preserve. It's been protected. But Rafael Rivera looks out, gives us our name, Las Vegas, loosely translated into the Meadows in Spanish. And that was around 1829. Around 1847, we get a group of Mormon travelers coming down from St. George and Salt Lake City. They had heard about the green grass and the water, and they wanted to come down and start a colony, also wishing to convert some of the local natives. And they quickly found out that they were unable to grow food to sustain the colony. No agriculture. Even today, the only thing we can grow are casinos.
Yeah.
I told you the jokes are going to get worse.
Just like, see?
So they ended up leaving. They took two routes.
Right now.
One group goes south through the Cajon Pass, ending and establishing the town of San Bernardino, California, while the other group goes west towards the already established town of Los Angeles, California. October 31st, 1864, Nevada officially becomes a state, thanks to President Abraham Lincoln, making us a state on the condition that he gets to utilize our natural resources, our silver, gold, gypsum, magnesium, during the Civil War. That's why on our state flag, we are known as the battle-born state. We were born out of battle. And there were actually a couple of battles up in northern Nevada along the border with California. And a little bit of a quiet time, not much really going on, people coming and going, until about 1902. We get a tent town that springs up around the downtown area. There's a rumor that the Union Pacific Railroad is going to come into town and build a detour.
Oh, yeah.
We are looking for the bighorn sheep. They live in these hills to our right. Now, about 35 years ago, we used to hunt them out here. You were allowed to hunt them. and they became endangered. They put them on the endangered species list. And I'm looking, yeah, there's a couple of them out there. So they were placed on the endangered species list, and so no more hunting in this area. And they all got the memo. So in the afternoon, they like to come down here to that park over there. You can see some of them in the field.
They're definitely
in the
isolated.
Bighorn sheep. We're going to get a little bit closer and see if we can see them. And they're not afraid of the people.
And now Desi Jr.
Like I said, there's no danger from the people.
That's our son.
Their only natural enemy in this area are the cougars, mountain lions, and bobcats. So we might also see a cottontail bunny or two, a jackrabbit, a roadrunner, a coyote, desert quail. We can see all kinds of stuff up here. All right. There you get a good view of the lake fortification. You know, how was the line today? Trying to get through. Not too bad, I hope.
Not too bad.
Monday, yeah. Usually it's a quiet, slow day on Monday. Everybody's gone from the weekend. All right, so we're looking on the right-hand side. I saw him from the highway, so let's see if we can see him up here. Alright, where'd they go?
This is very
This one I saw him. Where all those people are. Oh, there they are. Oh, they're all in the shade.
What?
Alright, so we'll get up here to a clearing.
What am I looking for?
There they are. Wow, they are all in the shade. Goats. There they are. Those are the bighorn sheep.
Oh, yeah.
They live, like I said, they live in these hills. Enjoy the grass and get some dinner and some shade. What is it right now? Yeah, it's still 105 outside, so that's why they're in the shade. They're not moving around too much. All right, let me turn this little baby around here.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, the white one.
Right, so right-hand side, right where that van is turning.
Oh, I see it.
Is St. Jude's Ranch for Children.
Oh,
On the
yeah.
left, we're going to see a wall made of rocks and boulders. And that was the home of Danny Thomas. It is still in his estate, and his daughter Marlo comes out from time to time.
I got a great view.
That's on the left. Now, on the left at the end here on the hill, on top of that hill, that round pagoda style house, that was the home of Melbourne Stone, who played Doc on Gunsmoke. And the letters and the language are very graphic. All right, but it's the true side of Las Vegas. What is it? They say it's one of the national landmarks that everybody has to come and see, especially if you want to know a lot of stuff about Las Vegas, about the what they say the good old days. And we call it the good old days because back when the mob was in control, everybody was treated the same. Doesn't matter what kind of luck you had. You lost $5, $5,000, $5 million, doesn't matter. Everybody got a great meal and gas money or a bus ticket to go home. So everybody was treated the same, not like today. That's the one thing I don't like about Las Vegas. And the guy that comes to town with $50 million has everything thrown at them for free. I say bananas. You have $50 million. Pay for your own damn room, food, and show tickets, and give that stuff to us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all three of you agreed. All right. So, all right, now, ways to get around town, of course, we have the city bus. I'm going to show you guys up here. Look at jaywalkers. We're not even off the highway that quick. Here on the right-hand side, this is where you can catch one of the city buses to go down, back, up and down. $3 one way, $6 round trip, $8 for a 24-hour pass. All right, guys, here we are downtown. That canopy overhead, that is the Fremont Street Experience, and this is the party. You've got to come downtown here and experience this at nighttime. It's unbelievable. So now we're going to make our way to Las Vegas Boulevard, and I'm going to show you all kinds of fun stuff.
It's one of the original.
In front of us, to the left, that tall building, that is the city jail, the Clark County Detention Center. And in a few moments, we're going to show you the federal prison, all kinds of fun stuff here. Before I get too far wrapped up here, I do want to say thanks to everybody for spending your afternoon with me. I know we've been together for a short time. It's been my pleasure being your driver, your tour guide, your man about town. Please take a moment now and collect and gather all your belongings. Your phone chargers, the cell phones that fall out of your pocket, your souvenirs, your photo house, and again on the right hand side is the original school. This intersection on the left hand side, that nice gray building, that's the federal prison. Alright, the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, they actually do a tour now that they have started. They'll send a shuttle to your hotel to pick you up, to bring you down. They'll stop here. They'll stop at Count's Customs, which is the guy that does a lot of his car work, and also Rick's Restorations, which is the guy that does a lot of his restoration work. But left-hand side, there it is, the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. And of course, look at this, we got a bunch of jaywalkers just that close to a crosswalk.
Oh yeah.
All right, once we get across Charleston Boulevard, we are no longer in Las Vegas. Now, the Plaza Hotel, as it's now called, that was actually the Union Pacific Railroad, the headquarters. The train yard's still there, and their main office is down here.